ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद। श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, so we were discussing teachings of Queen Kunti, chapter 18, spontaneous love. So before we continue further, anybody wants to share what is Vaidhi Bhakti, what is Raganuga Bhakti?
Hare Krishna. Swami.
Hare Krishna.
Vaidhi means whatever in Veda it mentioned all karma kanda. That is Vedic Bhakti and
No,
rule.
not Karma Kanda. No, not Karma Kanda. See,
That is
Karma Kanda is something which is only for sense enjoyment in this life and next. Right? So this is not Karma Kanda. Vaidhi Bhakti is something which is mentioned briefly in Upasana Kanda, but more specifically in Bhakti scriptures, which are mostly Smriti. So I discussed this yesterday. What is Vaidhi Bhakti? So can somebody say what we discussed yesterday?
Prabhuji,
Hare
shall I?
Krishna. Yeah, Radhika Mataji.
Prabhuji, Vaidhi Bhakti is following the rules and regulations, and by following rules and regulations, eventually we'll develop love for Krishna. Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Very
And
nice.
Raganuga Bhakti is following the footsteps of Ragatmika Bhaktam. Prabhuji.
Very good. Very good.
And internally, we are doing Bhakti in the mind, and externally, we are following Vaidhi Bhakti. Prabhuji.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So, and this has to be very clearly fixed in our mind. Okay. So now I'll talk a little bit more about Raganuga Bhakti. Again, like I said, this is all in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, so it will be good. Actually, it's a prerequisite mostly for most spiritual masters in ISKCON. Expect prospective disciples to have read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. But many devotees actually at that stage we can't understand much. We'll read, but we can't really understand at the time of initiation. It takes years of sadhana and parallel study for us to be able to understand many of these concepts. But yeah, we should read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So see, Raganuga Bhakti can be developed in two ways. Like I said, so Raganuga Bhakti is Bhakti following in the footsteps of Ragatmika Bhaktas. Who are Ragatmika Bhaktas? Ragatmika Bhaktas are the Vrajavasis. Right? So mostly we are talking about Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. So how does one get? Of course, I mean, we all know that we have Swarupa, we have an eternal constitutional position, and our constitutional position may be that we were in Dasya, maybe we were in Sakhya, maybe we were in Vatsalya, maybe we were in Madhurya, maybe we were in Vaikunta, maybe we were in Ayodhya, maybe we were somewhere else, maybe we were in Goloka. We don't know any of this right now. But some things become kind of clear in the sense when we come to Krishna consciousness, and mainly in Krishna consciousness, Krishna is worshipped. Like I can talk about my own example. Before coming to ISKCON, I was worshipping Venkateshwara, Balaji. Yeah, and I was pretty attracted to Venkateshwara, and I used to go to Tirupati maybe once or twice a year regularly. Now, when I came to ISKCON, obviously, initially my attraction to Venkateshwara remained. But when I started hearing about Krishna from Prabhupada's lotus mouth, from whatever he has written, spoken, suddenly there seemed to be some change in heart. Right now, I don't know what it is, but um, generally we get attracted to a certain form when we start hearing. If you've not heard, then it's just we cannot conclude that this is my attraction, because it's just part knowledge, right? We don't have full knowledge. So we hear about, so everybody knows about, you would have heard about Ramayana, they know about Lord Rama. Not many devotees know about Vishnu or Balaji. Actually, it's just public, this one. Everybody is going, I'm also going type. Right? But we don't know much. We have not heard much. Then Rama. Then, of course, as we read Bhagavatam, we have to read Bhagavatam. That is why we are hear about so many other avatars of Krishna. Mm. And we are hear about them, hear about their dealings, etc. And as we do this, and then slowly we come to 10th canto, and intermittently we hear um, hear from some visiting devotees and some senior devotees. Sporadically here and there we hear few things about various avatars, various forms of the Lord. Now, as we do all this hearing, slowly there will be some inclination in our heart, some inclination. And then when we do systematically, we study Bhagavatam, that inclination will become more stronger. We will become more attracted towards some form. Now, this doesn't mean that it is our Swarupa, but it can, it definitely means that it is going somewhere in that direction. Because if somebody is eternally a devotee of Rama, he will get naturally attracted by Rama and not get so attracted by anybody else. But this is after the hearing process, right? Not before. Many people don't do hearing and they just think that, okay, I'm eternally a servant of Rama or devotee of Rama or somebody else, etc. But we should hear. We should hear completely. Bhagavatam we should finish once or twice. Only then we'll start getting some sense of this. So, and this has to be systematic study. It can't be just by hearing some classes, lectures here and there that we can develop this. It has to be through systematic study of Bhagavatam. That is why Bhagavatam is so important. Hmm. Uh, so, as we hear, we start getting attracted towards some form. Now, if it is not Krishna, the difficulty is that in ISKCON, there isn't, and there are all the scriptures, literatures available or given by our acharyas in our parampara are more focused on Krishna. Right? That is why it is Krishna consciousness. Now, if somebody after reading Bhagavatam once or twice feels that they are not getting attracted to Krishna, then they can still continue to chant Hare. See, Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting anyway has to be done. Because that is the Yuga Dharma, irrespective of which form you want to attain. Okay. Now, after that, they might choose to read from other parampara acharyas. Like, for example, if somebody is attracted to Rama, they might want to hear somebody from, in authentic, authorized sampradayas of which are worshipping Lord Ramachandra. Like that, they might choose to hear from those sources. But the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra continues. Now, if suppose say somebody is not able to read or get his hands on any authentic literature, just by sincerely praying, begging for mercy by chanting, actually everything will get revealed in course of time. Because for such a devotee, there is no other hope than mercy of the Lord, because he or she is not able to get access to any other shastra also relevant, authentic shastra. But just tadami buddhi yogam tam, Krishna will reveal from within. Paramatma will reveal whatever is required for the devotee's progress towards Ishta Devata. But if somebody is attracted towards Krishna, then we have to read 10th canto multiple times. After having read whole Bhagavatam once or twice, we might have to read Bhagavatam 10th canto multiple times. Why? Now we are going one more level deeper. Now we are trying to understand, okay, am I attracted by Dasya? Am I attracted by Sakhya? Am I attracted by Vatsalya? Am I attracted by Madhurya? And naturally it will happen. It's not that we have to go searching for this. As and how we are hearing, like for example, see, most devotees think that they actually like to worship Krishna in as boy or child, right? Like Vatsalya Bhav. Like for example, we are doing this Damodar month. And they think that, oh no, I like to worship Krishna as Bala Gopal. But that might not be true, because that is just because they have not heard about other things. Right? It happened to me also when initially when I started all this Damodar month and all that, I felt like, oh, this is so nice. But later I figured that no, there is something more deeper, something else which attracts me more. Right? So we have to hear, we have to read. Let me not use this word here. We have to read Bhagavatam multiple times. And then that inclination will start to become stronger and stronger. Now, it may be that somebody doesn't develop this at all, doesn't really develop any of this because he's not read properly, or like I said, maybe he doesn't know how to read, or whatever be the reason. Maybe he's not developed any of this by reading or hearing properly. It still doesn't matter. Okay, so the Raganuga Bhakti can develop in multiple stages. For some very fortunate souls, Raganuga Bhakti develops in the very beginning of Sadhana Bhakti itself, very early stages. That means they start getting attracted towards some form of the Lord, they start getting attracted towards some very specific rasa, and they go deeper and deeper. Some very fortunate souls achieve that. It can even happen at a later stage of sadhana bhakti, maybe after years of when after a devotee reaches nishtha, asakti, ruchi, asakti, etc. Maybe somebody is in Vaidhi Bhakti and he continues, definitely at the stage of Bhava. At the stage of Bhava, his constitutional position gets revealed. Stage of Bhava. Right? So, which means at that point of time, he will know who he is in the spiritual world, and then he will practice Raganuga Bhakti in that stage, from that stage. Okay. So just to recap, Raganuga Bhakti can get revealed either earlier or later, but not later than Bhava Bhakti for somebody who is practicing Vaidhi Bhakti. So if suppose say these inclinations become stronger and stronger, and a devotee now realizes that okay, he feels like practicing Raganuga Bhakti, which means practicing this bhakti like the Brajavasis, in practicing that in their mind or heart, then he has to approach his guru. One has to approach guru and then describe all this, because sometimes we might be in illusion about what we are thinking. Many times we are in illusion. We see some, vision and this and that and all that. That's not possible. If that is what it is, then we will be crying constantly in love of Krishna. If we reach that stage. Otherwise, it's mostly illusion. Illusion of the mind. Mind can create all kinds of fancy stuff. Like we are seeing something, etc. But we might be in illusion. So when we go and speak to the guru, guru will ascertain whether what we are saying is just some mental speculation or whether it's the real. And then guru will recommend our sadhana, Raganuga sadhana. So he will say what we need to do. And if it happens before bhava, if our constitutional position is not yet revealed, but we are feeling inclined towards some rasa, then we'll go to our guru. When we get strongly inclined, we go to our guru and we discuss, and guru gives us our Raganuga sadhana. If it happens at the stage of bhava, then it will get revealed, meaning we actually know what our position is. We know our eternal service also. So we will just spontaneously in the mind start doing that service. So then, no, I mean, it's just revealed, right? But when it doesn't, till it gets revealed, we might have to go, we'll have to go to Guru, and Guru will reveal the sadhana for us. Right? And of course, a devotee who is in Raganuga stage never discloses to others that he's in that stage. Actually, it is generally said that we should never disclose. We should never talk about our internal state with other devotees. Whatever be our internal state, we should not discuss with other devotees. Right. So, and Raganuga devotees definitely don't disclose. So nobody really knows. Say, uh, when when we see devotees, we should never categorize or comment about them externally. We don't know what is their internal. Bhakti is internal. External is nothing. External is just, I mean, external is not real, right? In the sense, what is the love a devotee has for Krishna is in the heart. Of course, he will also demonstrate it in the way he or she does service to Krishna. But somebody who is doing a lot of service doesn't mean that he is very advanced, and somebody who is not doing much service is not advanced. No. So we cannot really conclude in any way what is the actual position of a devotee. That's why we respect every devotee. Uh, because Raganuga can happen to anybody at any stage. Right? So we have to be very careful about how we deal with Vaishnavas. Vaishnavis. When I say Vaishnavas, it's gender agnostic. Right? So this is Raganuga. Okay. And this has to happen before we go to Goloka. So which means in the Vaidhi path, it will happen in Bhava. For others, more fortunate, it can happen even before. And then they might, after consulting with their guru, they can start practicing Raganuga sadhana bhakti, while externally still practicing Vaidhi bhakti. Okay. So this is Raganuga. So any questions? Is it clear? Okay. If it is clear, then I'll move forward. Okay. So this is overall. Of course, it's very, very deep, each and every rasa, and there's so many things to be known, which we have to know eventually. I mean, either we will, like I said, we have to read and understand these things, or we very sincerely, without being attracted to material things, um, you know, just very sincerely, wholeheartedly submit ourselves to the lotus feet of Guru and follow Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, do offenseless chanting, um, not get involved in politics of this material world, or get attracted to material things of this world, and very sincerely practice Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. These things can also get revealed at a later point in time. But generally, such devotees are very less, especially in city, because the way of the environment here, it's possibly very difficult for devotees to get to this stage because they're so disturbed with everything around. The better approach is to do regular, like watering of the Bhakti Rata Bij, which is to Shravanam Kirtanam, reading and glorifying the Lord, and very nicely, sincerely, offenselessly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, not doing Vaishnava Aparadh, not doing any Aparadh, Seva Aparadh, Vaishnava Aparadh, Nama Aparadh, and engaging in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, which is the preaching movement. One can reach a stage when all these things will get revealed also. So we don't have to worry too much about, oh, maybe I've not developed any spontaneity yet. What will happen? Nothing will happen. Sincerely, if we follow the process, then everything will get revealed in course of time. Prabhupada always used to say, devotees used to ask a lot of questions, say, it will get revealed when the time comes. Right? But that's true only for devotees who are practicing sincerely and seriously, not who are doing time pass bhakti or doing bhakti just, as a part of material life. Yeah, I have a material life. Along with that, I have added bhakti. Not for such people. Such people, like I said, Swanishtita bhaktas, it will take multiple lifetimes for them. Okay, is that fine? Can I proceed? Okay. So I'm going to read further now from here. So yesterday we discussed this. The factual way of religion is to accept the Lord as a supreme authority and thus render service unto him in spontaneous love. So this is the religion. This is real religion. No, everything else that is being done in the name of religion is just dharma, artha, kama, moksha. It's just material. Right? So we do dharma. Why? Because actually we want artha. We want some result, benefits, material benefits. That's why people do dharma. Prabhupada said when there is already a lot of money, why people want to come to God? Temples and churches are empty, Prabhupada said. Because they have everything that they want. Why should they go to God? Why? Because normally dharma is done for getting artha, for getting money, for getting wealth, etc. Then once wealth is there, then kama, fulfill your desires, selfish desires. And once somebody exhausts all this, which takes like zillions of lifetimes, when a person comes to the stage of, oh, I had enough of kama, then he comes to moksha. Of course, it is not like Bhagavad Gita says, the more you fuel it, the more it will burn. So some stage, either mercy of a devotee or some karma phala, and a person doesn't get what he wants repeatedly and he's frustrated, and then he can move to higher stages. But if suppose says for somebody life is always good, everything is coming, mm, of course if he's like that, he'll also eventually, if he comes to mode of goodness, then again by hearing from scriptures, by hearing getting association of devotees, they can come to the path of bhakti. Otherwise people will simply get stuck in this dharma artha kama cycle, right? And frustrated ones will go to moksha. But getting bhakti is simply the mercy of a devotee, right? Or agnata sukruti, bhakti unmukha sukruti, meaning some pious activities that a person does which is favorable to bhakti. For example, giving a lift to a devotee, or say planting a tree under which a devotee sat down or rested, or giving, say, water to a devotee, or whatever it is, right? Some kind of, and that's why Prabhupada said book distribution. When the person takes the book and he's giving some money to the devotee, he's doing service, right? Because the devotee has come out to distribute books and he's helping the devotee in by buying one. This is also Sagnat Sukruti. Where that person doesn't know what he is doing. He just says, the salesperson has come to sell some things. And he just takes it, but that will have an impact on him. And what is that effect? Someday he's going to open that book that he bought. Right? So that is why we should strive hard for book distribution. Right? So uh, Damodar month is now going on. As soon as Damodar month ends, it is book marathon month. So we should put all our energies, all our time, to go out and distribute books. Mm. Mm. So that is real dharma. That is real dharma, is to render spontaneous devotional service to Krishna. A living being cannot help but render service because he is constitutionally made for that purpose. See, a living being cannot help but render service. He has to render services, whom either to Maya or to Krishna. The only function of the living being is to render service to the Lord. The Lord is great and living beings are subordinate to him. Therefore, the duty of the living being is just to serve him only. Only. Unfortunately, the illusion living beings, out of misunderstanding only, see, misunderstanding, lack of understanding, become servants of the senses by material desire. This desire is called avidya or nescience. Nescience, basically ignorance. Because of ignorance, they have become servants of their senses. And out of such desire, the living being makes different plans for material enjoyment centered about a perverted sex life. Now, we should understand this nicely, right? No, there's a desire. So all jivas want to satisfy their senses. Okay, but the senses are actually Rishikesha Sevanam. Senses, because Rishikesha, he's the owner of the senses. The senses actually need enjoyment, but that real enjoyment comes when we engage them in service of Rishikesha. But without knowing that, when jivas, living entities, are trying to enjoy senses, enjoy sense gratification, they make plans. They make different plans for material enjoyment, isn't it? Now, this weekend, Deepavali, etc. Last couple of weeks also, so many in our centers, number of people are very less because everybody is traveling long weekend. They're out somewhere, going to some place. Otherwise, they go back to their hometowns and enjoy. Enjoy. It's all time for enjoyment. What is Deepavali? Enjoyment. Wear new clothes, eat lot of good food, burst crackers, burn money. It's all enjoyment. So everybody is making different plans for material enjoyments, but it's all centered about a perverted sex life. What does this mean? So we know what is sex life is family, basically, right? Of course, in Western countries, when we say sex life, it means illicit, out of marriage, free, but in India, at least so far, sex life is still associated with marriage. So it is family life, but it is perverted because this concept of enjoying with the opposite gender is there even in spiritual world, like Lakshmi and Narayana. So everywhere there's a male form, there's a female form. So that is generally considered as, in general terminologies, in technical terminologies, it is called sex life. But because we are perverted, because we are in this material world, when we hear this word sex, we only think about physical engagement, right? But actually, sex life just basically means attraction between two sexes, which is male and female, right? And because the female energy is coming from the male energy, there is nothing wrong in that. Krishna's energy is the Shakti, and Shaktiman enjoys the Shakti. So there's nothing wrong in that. But because we are so perverted being in the material world, whenever we hear this, we just think about the mundane sex, right? But because here what they're saying, because of this perverted mundane sex life, which is centered around family, people make different plans for material enjoyment. Why? Because they want to give happiness to their senses. So what happens because of this? Though he's a servant of Krishna only, he becomes servant of Maya or this avidya. And then because of that, what happens? He therefore becomes entangled in the chain of birth and death by transmigrating into different bodies on different planets under the direction of the Supreme Lord. So just Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosha Darshanam. So just in this Janma Mrityu Chakra, they are stuck. Unless therefore one is beyond the boundary of nescience, one cannot get free from the threefold miseries of material life. That is law of nature. So unless one is beyond this nescience, beyond avidya, that means he comes to vidya. Once he comes to the platform of vidya, then he knows, oh, I am bound by these threefold material modes. I am suffering adi daivika, adi bhautika, adhyatmika klesha. Oh, why is this? Because I am become servant of Maya. Then he realized, oh, no, I should become servant of Krishna, and then he can get free from these tapatraya, these threefold miseries of material life. This is law of nature. So this is what Krishna has created. What is this law? That till one comes beyond the boundary of nescience, one is afflicted by the threefold miseries. And how does one come beyond the boundary of nescience? By the process of bhakti. Traigunya Vishaveda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. So when somehow or other one comes to the path of bhakti, then he will cross the boundary of nescience. He will become free from threefold miseries. This is called Kleshagni. Kleshagni. This is the stage of Bhava Bhakti. Kleshagni means all his material miseries are destroyed. They're completely destroyed when a devotee reaches the stage of bhava. Right? Till then, there is going to be miseries. Small, big, it will be there. That is a law of nature. Of course, a devotee who is completely surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna is not under the laws of nature. When a devotee completely surrenders to the lotus feet of the Lord and performs bhakti, actually his illusion, avidya, is getting destroyed gradually. So actually it is said that now this person is not in samsara, meaning to the extent he is not attached, willingly attached to material life, he is not part of samsara, meaning he is liberated. But it will only manifest in some time because he started his sadhana bhakti, and it will take time for all this, illusion and lamentation to stop. Now, let me repeat this again. So somebody who is like completely surrendered the lotus feet of Lord and is not a Mishra Bhakta, meaning he is not after sense enjoyment, he or she is trying to practice karma phala, and thereby the lamentation and illusion that comes from because of this karma phala, he is already getting destroyed, but not it is gradually getting destroyed. And by the time he comes to bhava, it is completely destroyed. Meaning, because by practicing bhakti, the anarthas are getting cleared, we make progress in bhakti. We move from anartha nivrutti to nishtha, to ruchi, to asakti, and then bhava. By the time we reach bhava, all our material miseries are destroyed. But how is this happening? Because we are practicing bhakti. And when do we get that bhakti rata bij? When we get initiated. So initiation is important, and then subsequently this practice of bhakti, sincere practice of pure devotional service, will enable destruction of all these anarthas, and thereby a devotee makes progress in spiritual life, moving through higher stages of nishtha, ruchi, asakti, and finally reaches bhava, where his material miseries are completely destroyed. This is okay? Any questions? Anybody? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, a question
Yeah.
to ask. Like, I mean, like, now, Prabhu, how do we get out of mixed bhakti? You say pure devotional service, pure devotional service. We are all the time in Sanskrit. I'm talking about myself. Material is so strong. Maya is so strong. Like you are in the edge. I mean, even to cross over, and as you say, like it's like you add spiritual life to material life.
Yeah.
How do you become serious? Like even if you want to, like there is something which grabs you, 80%, 90% of it, you're always on the other side, always trying to fight to come back to spiritual life.
Yeah, so I think, so there are multiple things that can be said about this. Right, see, the first thing is actually, for me, it all started from when I developed this attraction for Krishna. The very initial days of my bhakti, when I started hearing about Krishna, I developed attraction to Krishna to such an extent that I started feeling I want to be with him. I want to serve him. Now, this attraction to Krishna, hearing about his beauty, hearing about everything that he does, hearing about his qualities, it was so nice that I felt, why would I want to be away from him? And I am away from him, obviously, in this stupid material world. This material world and my conditioning and all the material things around me and distractions are just preventing me from going to Krishna. So, first thing that came to my mind is, no, what is the goal of my life? I said, no, I want to achieve Krishna. Done. That's it. Nothing else. Right now, how does that happen? By hearing, by reading, by hearing, by associating with devotees. See, this association actually is a very powerful tool. But this association cannot be sporadic, meaning whenever I get a chance, I will associate. No, this association means constant association. So if we are constantly associated with those devotees who are on that platform, then we will get affected, infected. Actually, Prabhupada says this is infection. This is infectious. Bhakti is infectious. And that is the whole idea of actually this Diksha. The process of Diksha is the Guru is already attracted and is at a very much higher stage than us. So by being in along with the Guru and serving the instructions of Guru, we actually develop this. But we have to be sincere to simply follow the instructions of Guru. Right? If that is not possible, then we should associate with other devotees maybe around us or known who are at that stage, but that association has to be constant. And what is the meaning of that association? Is to simply surrender and try to follow whatever that those devotees say. Without giving, see, this one thing we have to be very, very clear. Multiple times I have said, we have to give up our independence. Why? Because our independence always goes towards sense enjoyment. When we give up our independence to enjoy and we simply try to follow, okay, I'm surrendered. Okay, this devotee is saying, come here, do this, do that, don't do this. And when I'm willingly trying to follow what the devotee is saying, and that devotee is already fixed at a higher stage in bhakti, then I will get out. I'll get out of this bondage that I'm stuck in. Right? But if I'm not doing that, if I'm not getting the association of Guru, if I'm not getting the constant association of a more advanced devotee, and so if none of these Shastra says, okay, then at least, follow the Varnashrama, say after 50 years, give up, or 60 years, give up material engagements. Willingly give up, saying that I'm done. I mean, I have a goal in life and I have very less time to achieve it. But before that, the question is, do I have a goal in life? And is that goal Krishna? If that goal is Krishna, then at some point of time, I'll wake up and say, oh my God, I'm losing time. Do I want to come back again to this material world? Now, if the answer is yes, it's okay, then it's going to take multiple lifetimes. But if the answer is no, 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 I don't want to come back to this material world, I want to go to the spiritual world, then we will find a solution. Krishna will show us a solution. But all this is centered around our desire. What is our desire deep in our heart? Is it still sense enjoyment, or are we just getting dragged into sense enjoyment even though I don't want it? If I willingly want sense enjoyment, then we only are we are the enjoyers, right? So we've decided we want sense enjoyment. Who can change it? But if we are getting driven because of previous vasanas, previous conditioning, etc., then there are multiple solutions for such a person. Right. So first of all, we have to be true to ourselves and answer to ourselves, saying that what is the goal of my life? I mean, am I okay to come back to this material world again, or am I actually is my goal of my life Krishna? Right, and everything starts from there.
Yes, Prabhuji, one more thing you said in the class was not to reveal your inner state of, if that's what I understand. But Prabhu, if you don't reveal it to somebody or you don't talk it out to somebody, then how do you?
Guru, we should reveal it to Guru. I'm talking about, see, anarthas we should, so there are two things, right? Rupa Goswami says that we should have a mentor. Mentor meaning not in the term like this, like a Shiksha Guru, right? Like with whom we should be able to reveal ourselves, our inner, but not to the whole world, right? Number one. Number two, I am mostly talking about advanced stages, like when we are making progress, we should not reveal our progress to the world. We can reveal our anarthas to the world and say, I'm so fallen. So don't think that I'm exalted, and that will keep us grounded and humble. It's okay. Right. But who's going to give us the solution to get out of that real, he's somebody whom we trust, right? He's one person. Guhyam Akhyati Prichati, Rupa Goswami says in Upadeshamrita. So we should have the association of such devotee. Right? One devotee is good enough. Right? If that is Guru, that is the best. Right? If that is a Guru, but unfortunately in ISKCON it's practically impossible to get that kind of attention. Right? So it has to be somebody who can be seen as a representative of Guru, who is capable, who is also advanced, who can help us out, who can pull us out. So with such a person, we should reveal our heart, right? But not generally talking to everybody and anybody, right? And not revealing is very dangerous. right? Not revealing is very dangerous, right? It's like poison, and poison is inside and we're not doing anything to take it out. It's just going to destroy us, right? So I see most devotees don't have, don't have anybody like this in their life, right? And that is the reason why many devotees are struggling, right? Because they really don't have any clear quality guidance. Quality guidance. Why am I saying quality guidance? Because the person who is giving that guidance also should be exalted, right? Should already be on a path higher than us. Otherwise, what are we going to learn from that person, right? If that person is a peer, then no use. That is just like, sharing your heart kind of thing, right? But that's not going to result in spiritual advancement. But if you have access to somebody who is more advanced than you, right, then we can make tremendous progress, provided we surrender to that person, right? After clearly evaluating that that person is eligible, qualified, advanced, then we can surrender to that person. And we should actually. I mean, this is what Shastra says, which is, like I said, it should be the guru. But if not, a bona fide representative of the guru, who guru will say, you can take guidance from this person. And we should ask for it. We should ask for it.
But Prabhuji, many times, when you're looking out for one or you're trying to find one, it's very, very difficult to get somebody.
Yeah, we
who
should
can
be very
sincerely-
sincere. Yeah, we should be sincere actually. When we are sincerely praying, Guru and Krishna will take us there. But the sincerity is key. Right, we should be very sincere. See, actually, this is the indication of mercy of Krishna, right? When somebody is taken to a bona fide guru, that is the first mercy of Krishna. Similarly, because guru is not accessible, if you sincerely pray to the guru himself, right? And see, more practically, many a times when guru is present on this material, we should actually talk. We should consult the guru and ask, saying that what should I do? If guru says no, don't worry, you just chant Hare Krishna, I will take care, then done. Then guru will take care. Right? But
Yes,
we should reveal our heart. We should say that no, I am getting dragged. I'm getting dragged. It's not like I'm afraid. I'm afraid of being in this state because I feel that I might just not make progress, or I might just go down. Right? We should reveal our heart, the state of our heart, our real situation in front of guru. Then guru will take the right decision. Right? And whatever guru takes is approved by Krishna. So we don't have to doubt that after that. Right, but without talking to guru, without doing any effort, just remaining in this drowning, material boat is very dangerous. Very dangerous.
I feel exactly like what you said, Prabhu.
Yeah.
And another thing, like you're fortunate enough to get so attracted to Krishna. With me, so many times, like it'll be Jagannath sometime, Jagannath ji sometimes. You're attracted to those deities for a few times. Sometimes it's Narasimha, then it fluctuates back to Radha Madan Mohan. I mean, is this?
No, it's okay. It's okay. See, Jagannath is non-different from
yes,
Krishna.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we don't stick to, what I mean is like you're
Yeah.
not sticking to one particular form of
no problem. But you're still attracted, no? You're still attracted. So that is important. Right? I mean, not being attracted is very dangerous. Even, this kind of fleeting, jumping attractions is still okay, but still there is. See, but Mataji, this will get reinforced only after you read Bhagavatam twice at least, right? Only then this process will start kind of working more. That is why this, our morning program is very important. Giving 1 hour to read Prabhupada's books is very important, because only then it will start becoming more fixed.
Yes, Prabhuji, like since you're on it, I know you're very busy. If you can give us another half an hour, like I mean, I think I can after my Guru Maharaj, I think I can anchor. So I think most of them will agree. If you can increase this half an hour to, if not in the morning, half an hour in the morning and half an hour, we all, I think all of us will be really indebted to you. I'm speaking on, I don't know if the others, but I'm speaking on their behalf also. That's what
Okay.
Another half an hour, at least on the basics, Prabhu, we could even I mean,
Okay,
I don't feel ashamed to say that even with so long in the I need to progress.
Okay, Mataji. So we'll talk. I'll talk to you separately. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Anything else? Yeah, Akshay Prabhu, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, following up on the first question, right, what the answer that you gave. So you said that independence we need to lose, and
Yeah.
so the issue that I face, and I think many of us might be facing, is that it happens, it continues, that mode or that mood continues for few days, few weeks, few months also. But then, like, motivation wanes out, then again we are attracted to material things. So how do I keep that continuous? Means I am doing all the spiritual practices to the means
16 rounds.
no Prabhuji.
Oh, you got your answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, we have to follow the process fully, right? We can't take partial dose medicine, right? Or we can't follow the instructions partially and expect results. Even after doing 16 rounds, we'll be in this boat. This is called Anishtita Bhakti. What you're saying is actually is a description of Anishtita Bhakti. Anishtita means not fixed, right? It's just changing every time. So that requires anarthas to go. When anartha nivritti happens, then one comes to nishtha bhakti. But anartha nivritti will happen when we follow the process properly, sincerely. Only then anarthas will go. So that means we should be doing 16. Like I said, morning program again. Answer to most of our questions will be morning program, right? What time we are getting up? When are we finishing our 16 rounds? Are we able to read 1 hour every day? If the answer is yes to all this, then you will start getting answers to your own questions. You won't have to ask me, right? I feel sad to say that, though Prabhupada has given us such a powerful process, unfortunately, devotees are not following it, right? And continuous non-adherence to this process is why we end up, in difficulties, right, in making progress, because we are simply not trying to follow the process. If we are sincere in following the process, we will make progress, because the process is like that. It's what has been given by our Acharya and Prabhupada. Being a pure devotee, Krishna has approved it, right? So we will make progress. There's no doubt. But follow the process. Follow the process, right? Morning should be 4 to 8 or 4:30 to 8, right? Or for Matajis, it might be because cooking, etc. Maybe 4:30 to 6:30 or whatever, based on how busy your morning is, right? So at least for Prabhus, it should be 2 to 3 hours sadhana. For Matajis, at least it should be 2 hours sadhana in the morning, right? And that will slowly, pull us out of this anishtita into nishta. But I see a lot of devotees spending a lot of time for yoga and this and that and all that. Yeah, if one's health is really bad, then, but preventive yoga, all this is craziness, right? I mean, we don't have to waste our morning time. We can figure out some other time for that. Prabhupada didn't approve any of this. Yeah, if somebody is unwell, then yes, take care of. And of course, if your health is really weak, take care of it. But a generally healthy person, I've seen some healthy people, right? They spend so much of time walking 1 hour, doing this, doing that, waste of time. Right. So we have to be clear what our morning schedule, how our morning schedule looks. Is it favorable to Krishna consciousness? Is it not favorable? Some people spend 1 hour in the bathroom. I mean, what are we going to do? What can one do? Sleep? Uh, yeah, of course, some people might have challenges passing, stool, and they might have to sit, constipation problems, etc. Okay, we can try to get some medical solutions for that, right? But otherwise, I mean, this body which is going to get destroyed one day, how much can we take care of it? How much do we want to take care of? How much, if we take care of it, will it look any better, or what are we going to achieve by being? So yeah, I mean, some of these things we have to be conscious and just not waste precious morning sadhana time doing useless things, right? So as long as we can follow the sadhana, we will make progress. No doubts about that.
Prabhuji, means to get from whatever lesser rounds that I'm doing to the 16 rounds, that motivation also is needed, right? So
That what is needed?
for that also motivation is needed, right? So continue, like,
No, motivation is not needed. That is why I said surrender, take instructions, follow. Some devotee says, okay, see, my rule of thumb is very simple, bro. If suppose we've been chanting a particular number of rounds for 2 months consistently, increase it by 2 more rounds. Simple. Yeah, if you are not self-motivated, do it. Surrender to somebody who will say, now from tomorrow start doing 2 more rounds, and you should start doing. See, if we are not surrendered, if we are not self-motivated, then what is it, right? And then yeah, we can keep waiting, and maybe slowly, steadily we'll make progress. But see, that is why spiritual life means surrender. Spiritual life means shishya, right? Discipline, accepting authority. This is so critical, right? That is why this is called Vaiti. We have no motivation, self-drive. It's okay. Somebody is saying do it, just do it. Right? It's like that.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Okay, anything else? Anybody? Okay, so we'll stop here. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Pranam.
Hare
Dandat
Krishna,
to.
Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam.
I am also going to your classes actually.
No, Prabhu. No, you should be giving class. I should be hearing.
No, Prabhuji.
It's okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
I was asking Sumitra to ask you to start the Nectar of Devotion actually sometime actually.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. But
Yes,
we
sir.
can do that, Prabhu. I mean, sir, there's so many things to be done. Krishna will.
Yeah.
We'll do, Prabhu. Whatever, as you say. I'm happy to
No problem.
serve.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Dandat.
Hare Krishna,
You are-
Prabhuji.
now
Thank you very much.
You've told it in the class, Prabhu, so you don't let me